Hello, welcome back to my channel. Another day, another rebirth. I hope all is well. I hope you're loving yourself and I hope you're letting yourself be loved. As you see, new setup. I have moved, still moving things around, still trying to figure out the setup. Do I want to keep this authentic setup? Do I want to build more like a podcast setup? We're still figuring this thing out. I'm still figuring this thing out. I mean, life in general. I've been away, as you see. It feels like I've been away longer than I've been away. I see that my last video was posted 2 weeks ago, but it feels like a whole month, I guess, because so much life has happened to and for me. I'm expanding in all aspects of my life. And it has been a bit chaotic, a bit painful, feeling the leaves fall away and it is what it is. I've been currently dealing with some feelings of being, I don't know, I guess in the wrong place, of not fitting in. I know I'm not supposed to fit in, but I mean, not comfortable, not welcome, not deserving of being in the spaces that I've been in, or just anxious. There was a whole thing about the key of this apartment because it's digital, and I'm like, see, you know what this means? This means like a ghetto black girl like me, we not supposed to be in these spaces. I'm not supposed to be here. I don't deserve to be. I had a whole like breakdown. Like, this is confirming everything. Like, maybe I'm just supposed to move back home and get a job back home. It was a lot, especially being in the wine industry and dealing with white people. I'm gonna just say white people every day, and they don't think I know what I'm talking about, or they minimize me. And I'm still growing from a space where I've been taught to minimize myself and disregard myself and my knowledge. And even if I've studied and trained so hard for this thing, I don't think people realize how academic wine is, and how intelligent and how knowledgeable and how determined and focused you have to be to study something like that. It sounds like a bunch of mess about grapes, but it's very intense. And I was just getting like so I don't know what's the word, discouraged. On about that. I was getting so discouraged about this whole career because they will ignore me while me suggesting whatever wine, or they'll just not believe what I'm saying to them. But luckily for me, I'm getting emotional, the most wonderful mentor in the world. Um, he's a 70 something year old man. Who we bonded over because he has experience in the low country. For those of you who don't know, I am of Gullah descent, so he knew a lot about my culture, and we just bonded over that. He spent a lot of time in Charleston, and he wasn't familiar with the low country in Georgia or Florida, so kind of put him on game when it comes to that. And he taught me a lot of stuff about Charleston Gullah folks, which is surprising, him being a white person. So it is what it is. I try not to judge, but it's fascinating his, I wouldn't say what he knows, but his respect for the culture, because we know that those people like to dabble in a lot of cultures, but they don't really respect it. But his love for the people, for the culture, for the food, for the language, and whenever he sees it in my face that I'm having a moment at work, he's always like, remember who you come from. You come from royalty. May not be literal royalty, but you come from good people. Remember your bloodline. And that's so affirming. And he knows when people look over me in the shop. He's like, no, this is my mentee, Acacia. She can help you. She Yeah, I don't know who calling me, interrupting my video, but I'm so sick of it. Access denied. I don't want anybody asking me for help. I don't want anybody calling me with their woes. I'm just over it. I guess this video is me just being over it. But like I was saying, yeah, he means a lot to me, and he's very special, and there's not many people like him, regardless of race, gender, whatever you want to say, ethnic group, ethnicity. It's not a lot of people like him out there that's going to be loyal. I don't know if y'all saw the video of Law Roach talking about Zendaya and how she always makes space for him and always asks him his opinions in meetings. That is my mentor to me. And I'm so grateful for that because wine, the study of vinification and viticulture is a very white male dominated space, and it's been intense. And even when it comes to being around women of color, black women who are highly educated in wine, sometimes I feel like I'm not supposed to be there. I'm like, what? I'm a little country bumpkin. I'm not supposed to be here, especially when my family, they don't understand anything I'm doing, but I have to remind myself and remind them that if I had listened to anything, any bull crap of advice they had given to me to not shoot for the stars or do what I really wanted to do because they didn't get it, they never heard of a black girl studying wine or wanting a vineyard or wanting to be a wine negociant. If I had listened to anything, I would not be here. I would not be having these growing pains that I am so grateful for, because I know that once the pain subsides, the person, the growth is about to be so beautiful. I already feel it. The other day, well, it was yesterday, I attended the lunch dinner for Taraji P. Henson's new collaboration wine with Seven Daughters wine, and it's tasty. It's quite tasty, and I resonated with her. She spoke about being a girl from the hood and not having access to wine in her first experience with wine, and it was a cheap wine, but she started learning about the culture, about the chateaus, about the families, about how wine is at the center to a lot of community, to a lot of love, and she fell in love with it and wanted her own wine. And that's exactly how I feel. Um, young down the front with it. I don't even know what I'm saying. Around the way girl, Jenny from the block type thing, and they're like, we're not supposed to be in these spaces. Sometimes I feel like I'm not supposed to be there. I feel awkward. Um, not having I guess a university degree, college dropout type thing, knowing good and damn well I'm probably one of the most intelligent people in the room, not to stroke my own ego, but sometimes I still feel like I'm not supposed to. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. My storage was full. I had to quickly delete some old videos. That's really my sign. I need to go through my phone and delete a lot of stuff because it's the season of expanding and growing and shedding old skin. And yeah, I definitely feel that. And it's a very heavy feeling right now. That full moon that just left. Yeah. Yeah, if you know, you know. But like I was saying, I've been kind of taught to minimize myself. I was always the person that no one expected to be intelligent. I feel like even sometimes when I post my poetry, people are like, I know, I'm not saying people literally tell me this, but the energy I get from people is like, shut up, you're just a pretty face. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear you talk. Um, this squeaky ass chair. But I've been feeling like that my whole life. Even in grade school, I was silenced. I was thought to be the so back how it was in my school was that you could clearly tell which classes were the gifted classes, the troublemakers, the class clowns, because they kept us divided. And I was kind of in the same class with the same people from K through 12. Except for one year, they moved me out of that class into the troublemakers class, probably because I was talking hella pro black ish, and them teachers didn't want me around their kids. But my teacher reviewed my I guess standardized test scores and then was like, "Why is Acacia in this class?" And then they moved me back into the right class with the gifted kids. But people always thought I was like the the person that was added in those class so the gifted kids could push me. And I find that so hilarious. No shade, no tea, but where are they now? Where are the gifted kids? I'm a little salty, I'm a little shady because I was looked over. I was hella looked over as a kid because people underestimated me. They always thought I was just like the pretty girl, or they felt like she's pretty, she's this. The one thing she can't be is intelligent. Or I'll meet people that, or people will meet me from Twitter or Instagram, be like, I never would have thought that you were this kind or this intelligent. I thought you were just a pretty face. What do you want me to say? Do you want me to say, oh, thanks for seeing me finally? No, F you. Because you're one of those people that write me off and look over me and minimize my intellect and make me feel like I'm not supposed to be here. And I'm so sick of feeling like that. And I know most of that feeling is on me because I have to heal from those things that I've experienced as a child, as a teenager. But that is a lot of work. And I guess making this video is the first step because I never want to be in a room of full of successful black women or any successful group of people and feel like I'm not supposed to be there because I come from a different walk of life. Sometimes it's really hard for me to hold my head up when so many people want it to be down, when so many people try to remind me of where I came from, and they want me to think that it will dictate where I'm going. But let this video be proof that you can use your story as power. And yes, you may have moments where you want to minimize yourself and your growth, but even you being here is resilience. I remember for some reason Georgia State thought it was a good idea to send me an email to tell me how resilient they thought I was. And my resilience score was like 40%. I guess because of my grades that semester, but my grades were that semester because I didn't pull out of my classes, right? And I just stopped going. How silly of me. But I was watching this movie the other day about Pacifica women, like Samoan, Fijian, you know, women from the Solomon Islands, and it was basically telling the same story with different women in different phases of their lives. And when they got to the college girl, the professor was like, "You're not trying hard enough," and she was like, it was a Samoan girl based in New Zealand, and she was telling her white professor, her colonizing professor, that her grades weren't the way they were supposed to be because she had to carry her family. She had to carry so many things, and I feel like I internalized that little email that Georgia State sent me because they were telling me you're not doing enough, you're not smart enough, you're not resilient at all. And I'm like, if only you knew. If only you knew what it took to even wake up and go to class. And I don't know, people just see me and they just see this pretty, privileged, dandy, happy go lucky girl. And I'm like, it's not that. I deserve to be here. You would have crumbled if you were in my shoes. You would have crumbled. And some days I do crumble in my shoes. And I feel like I've been crumbling like the last couple of days. It's not because life has been hard, but life has been good. And I don't know how to accept it because I feel like I don't belong in these spaces. But I let this video be a reminder that it's okay to feel. These feelings are human, but don't internalize them. Like I said, every feeling and every thought that comes to you is not real. It is not the truth. It is not part of the universal truth. You deserve to be here. You deserve to be alive. You deserve abundance. You deserve wealth. And not because you've accomplished things, though you've accomplished great things, but just because you exist. You deserve to be in the rooms that you want to be in just because you exist as a child of the Creator, as God, as a child of Mother Gaia. You deserve. And I believe in you. I believe you're going to change the trajectory of your life, your lineage, and you're going to inspire so many people. So I love you. Until next time, peace. Wait, before I really go, I feel like I left off a crucial part of wisdom that I've heard. Maybe Twitter, Instagram, some quote from an elder. You have to walk in the room the same way every time. No matter if you have 10 cents or $10,000 in your pocket. I know who told me this. I know who told me this. I cannot think of her name to save my life, but I ran into this lady at a creek when I was meditating. Spirit told me to go there. And she told me I manifested her. And she told me while I was going through the darkest period of my life, you have to walk in the room the same way. Because sometimes you're going to get that call, that life changing call, that life changing email while you don't have any money, while you only have enough to get there and to get back or to eat for that night. But you might feast the next day because you have to believe in yourself. The first step is believing that you are worthy being in the room. In capitalism, white supremacy tells us that our worth is based on money. When money is the lowest form of currency, people will do anything for money. But you have to know, as a child of God, as a child of your ancestors, as a child of earth, like I was saying, that you deserve. So walk in those rooms, chin up every time. Now, bye for real this time. Peace.